Hey guys, this is Laurel of the Dabbling Hook. How are you doing today? I'm doing well because I have Sutter Home White Zinfandel. Yes, and even though Minion 1 thinks I'm an alcoholic, cheers. Kind of warms my heart, you know, that he's so anti-alcohol right now. So there's hope for him. Oh, okay. I hope you guys are doing well. Something I always forget to do. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Thank you for spending your, well, I was going to say your afternoon. It's afternoon right now. It's 4:16. It's bright, it's sunny. I've gone out and run 2 errands, and it's a very lazy Sunday today. Everyone is in their holes, doing whatever. Yeah, it's just a chill out kind of day. So, I'm really hoping this is going to be quick, but knowing me and the way I go on and on, it may not be. What else? What other admin stuff? I think that's it for admin-y type of stuff. I haven't done a lot of crocheting this week. I finished a couple of things, but yarny wise, everything has just been slow, and I have no idea why. Must just be with everything going on and the freaking craziness, excuse my French, that is going on in the grocery stores. I mean, really, toilet paper, paper towel, why? It started with that, but now I went to Stop and Shop, and I mean, last week I went to the grocery store closest to me, and the paper towel, toilet paper shelves, bare. I mean, completely bare. Only thing left there was dust. And then when I went to do my regular weekly shopping at Stop and Shop, nothing there. And everything else is picked over, but the meat aisle, like, we don't normally buy a lot of meat anyway, but it was just like, I heard the guy say that they were going on 50% out of stock, and I think it's way more than that. It's just absolute craziness. And I went to get eggs because there were no eggs at Stop and Shop at the one closest to me, the grocery store, and it's completely bare. And they had 2 sections where they had the regular eggs and the organic, grass-fed, that type, all gone. Usually that stuff, which is more expensive, is usually there. It's all gone. So, I stuck this in the freezer for a while. Lovely. But I do have my hand sanitizer, which is always in my car, and I took this out for a reason last week, and I forgot to put it back in my car, but this has always been in my car. You know, when you have kids, boys especially, who never wash their hands, you gotta do what you gotta do, and Purell works. Okay, so on that Rona rant, oh yeah, it's got a new name now, it's just Rona for short. What are we doing? Did I say welcome to everyone? If I didn't, or if I did, I'm saying again, welcome to all new subscribers, welcome to all the returning viewers, and thank you again for spending your, I did, didn't I? Thank you for spending your afternoon, night, morning, whenever you're watching this, time with me. So, let's get on. So much for me making this quick. What are we talking about? I am going to do a quick shout out. Oop. I'm picking stuff off me, and I'll tell you why in a minute. To Priscilla of Distinctive Crochet. Now, I ran across her because she commented on 1 or 2 videos ago, so I clicked on just to see her channel. She is very, what's the word? I had a word. Fearless in, like, watching, I feel old now, watching a lot of the newer people doing videos. Even though I haven't been doing it that long, but I've been watching for like 10 years on YouTube. But it's just how fearless everyone dives into crochet and knitting and all of it, and it just makes me feel old because in my head I'm very hesitant to try things, and when I do, it's like, oh, why did I wait so long? But I still have that, what's the word I'm looking for? That resistance to things. So anyway, as I was saying, Priscilla of Distinctive Crochet. And she, for whatever reason, and take this as a compliment, she reminds me of Classy Kim. I don't know if it's the glasses or whatever what it is, but whenever I see you, I think of Classy Kim. But anyway, go check her out. I will leave her channel information down below, a link to it. And Priscilla did tag me on a tag that's going around. I think it's Links of Love, Crochet Links of Love or something. And I will get to that. I just haven't really been doing a lot of things lately, and it's taken a long time, 5 minutes now, for me to get to this point to even record this video. But looking at her video and the person who originated that tag, it reminds me a lot, again, of what Classy Kim did for the 2020 subscribership tag. It's basically a way to tag people and get them out there and get them seen. So I need to do a separate video for that. What else has been going on? With all the virus stuff going on, both the minions have been sick. Minion 1, it's going on 2 weeks. He's at the tail end of it. But he had this cough. Basically, I think he has the walking pneumonia virus that he had. He's at the tail end. He's been antibioticed up and all that. And then Sunday, 3 days ago, Minion 2 in the morning said his ear was hurting. And I'm like, oh no, he's very prone to ear infections. Turns out I get a call later on that day from school to come pick him up because he's in pain because he has a double ear infection. And I would show you the picture of when I picked him up and he got in the car and he didn't see me take the picture, but I won't show it because he'd be very upset at me. But he was holding on to his head in a lot of pain because he usually gets it in his left ear, but this time it was in both, and it was, yeah, not pleasant. So he's also on medication. So yeah, it's been a fun 2 weeks, let me tell you. But all that's getting better, and it's even better now that they don't have school for another 2 weeks. So, like everybody else, some places have been pushed off. I know my sister, her town has been pushed off well into April. So, who knows? But we're trying to do things as normal. And I'm going on and on and on and on. What else do we have? So in my, I'm putting clips of old photos from way back when, and I try to go by year, but I may intersperse them. Depends on what I scroll through. So this is 2014 photos, and I used to do a lot of flowers back then. If I finished a project and I had a little bit of yarn left, I made a little flower and I just chucked it, and I at one point had a drawer full of flowers. I've made about 4 wreaths. I think I showed it on videos last year. Wreaths that I've made. My mom has 2 that I've made. You just make flowers, you chuck them, and then after a while you buy the wreath forms at like the Dollar Tree. I like to wrap it in a nice fabric because sometimes when you put the hot glue on the foam, it melts. And then I think I made her a Christmas one and a spring one for her front door. So, and I packed mine away, and I can only find one of them, but they're somewhere in the garage. So you'll see all the flowers and all the things some of the things I made in 2014. There are a lot more pictures. All right, whips. Whips, we have, I am trying to finish, I think is it my last order? My last order. And it's for 2 hats and the fingerless mitts, and I made one of the hats already. I knitted it, and I was going to, oops, drop the stitch. God. Oops. Hold on. Oh. This is where you need your crochet hook. All right. I think I got it. Yep, back on. So I was going to crochet this other one, but I decided to knit it, and I did a double brim, which is a pain in the butt to pick up. I'm sure it'll get better with time, but I do it so rarely. Yeah, it was a pain. So I'm just going with the flow. I did a little seed stitch for a bit, and then I'm going into plain, and then I may go back to seed stitch or do something else. It's, I get easily bored, so I like to mix it up. And this is just Lion Brand Pound of Love doubled up, just to make it go faster, because this is worsted, but it's on the lighter side of worsted, and yeah, there's no way an adult size hat would take me way longer. So I'm hoping to finish that next week and be done with these. My other whip that I have, of course, is all the blue yarn happenings that's going on right now. Hat Not Hate. I'm sure you guys all saw the little interview or video that Crystal of Bag O' Day had with Shara of Tea with Shara. She does all the videos for Lion, well, not all of them, but a lot of the videos for Lion Brand, and she interviews a lot of the Yarny World people out there. So yeah, she was talking to Crystal about Hat Not Hate, and last time I said that a few of us, I wasn't, what's the word? I didn't realize that so few people knew about it. Crystal mentioned that. I thought, you know, because it's probably because I'm just always on Instagram and stuff like that online, that because I see it, I guess I think that everyone else has seen it. So, which would account for why when I think when they got close to the deadline for Hat Not Hate last year, I don't think they had met the 25, but going back and looking on the website, I think they ended up at 27,000 out of the 25,000 that they were going for. So now they're going for 4 times as much. And as they said on that interview, with Crystal having 500,000 subscribers, you know, if everybody makes a hat, that would be awesome. You know, even half of us subscribers, if they make a hat, that would be awesome. It would be a done deal. So fingers crossed, we're gonna get there, right? So the first yarn I showed, that was jeans yarn I had from leftover from a couple of projects last year. And then I have some I'm looking at it and I'm betting, yep, they're 2 different lot numbers, but I have some Heartland in Lake Clark. I think you can see the 2. This one's a little lighter. So I don't know what I'm gonna do. If I double it, it would have to knit for that to make anything. If I put these together, otherwise I would just have to double this. Yeah. If I knit it, I'm gonna double it, and I may be able to do a crochet something. I don't know. I just make it up as I go along for the crochet one. So that's my whip. Finished objects. So I have another one that I will show, but I had a little bit left over from finishing that, and I just made a little baby hat for donation. Last year, I've been making donation hats almost since the minions were little. And I donated to the hospital where they were born, and last year I didn't have enough to donate. I could have, but I didn't think it was enough, so I'm adding on to it this year. So that's one out of the velvet yarn. And then I had some, the same project that I finished, I had some Stitch Studio in their classic antique white, I think. So those 2 are done for that. And then, speaking of Hat Not Hate, I had shown last time that I was almost finished with this one. And I only had a little bit left to go to close it up, so that's done. And I knitted, ooh, I thought I had a hole. Ooh. I also knitted one, and this is in some Caron Simply Soft that I had sitting around for a while. Too bad it couldn't be any color yarn, because then I could blow through my Caron Simply Soft stash. But this was the only blue I had in there. And this is just made up. I went through the my knitting stitch dictionary, and this is, I think this is the bamboo stitch, I believe, and I just played with it to do that. So yeah, 2 down for complete for Hat Not Hate, and I have yarn to start others. And then I have another order that I'm done with now for another lovey and a newborn hat. And I had a lovey, actually, hang on, let me go pull the lovey out. Be right back. Okay, so this was the lovey that I did. I completed. It was a whip from since last April when we had gone to DC that got chucked after, you know, craft fair season started. But I finally finished it. It was either in January or February. So the lovey is done. And since he wanted a lovey, and I wasn't really feeling starting another one after I just completed one for him, one of the members of my meetup group was going through my feed on Instagram and saw it, and I'm like, oh, I had that there, I forgot. So there's that, and this is a Hobby Lobby yarn, 2 Hobby Lobby yarns, one of the speckly ones that they have, and 2 different ones. This is one of the speckly ones, and then the other colors is from the same ball. So I used all of that up to finish off the lovey, and I didn't have any more, but what I had was this, which is the Karen Chunky Cupcake. And lo and behold, the colors are so similar that it just worked out. I didn't have to go buy anything, so I just knitted up another hat, and again, I used the bamboo stitch again in a little different way. Similar to that Hat Not Hate hat, but I changed just one thing here. So that's done. I just need to put my label on that and send him a pic, and off it's gonna go. So after that goes off, I just have the hats to finish for that one order, and I will be free and clear to do what I need to do. So knitting that hat though, I know Ross of Smell Great Guy, or Smells Like Yarn, he has been reviewing needles, and one of the things that's a big pain, and not just for him but for pretty much anybody who knits, is the cord. Oh my god, having the good tools or the right tools really is a big thing. Yeah, you can buy those starter packs on Amazon. I have them, you know, the bamboo with the that rubber, that clear rubber or plastic cord. But this is a, what is it? Hang on. This is a Knit Pro Zing, and I love the needle itself, but oh my god, the cord. I was fighting. I was doing magic loop on the hat because I don't like using DPNs. It just gets all in the way. I do use them to close up hats, you know, because I like using the 16-inch circular, so then you got to switch to DPNs, but if I do it magic loop, you don't have to do that. But goodness.
So your internet's still working for you?
Hi. Pardon me, I will be right back. Wow, this is going to be a sign of what the next 2 weeks is going to be like if internet is not working properly. God forbid. Where was I? That's a pain. And like Ross said, I don't want to have to boil my cord and go through all that to use, you know, the product that I bought. That's a little extra. So I think I'm going to have to get rid of these. Even though I like the needle itself, the tips. That's too bad, but oh, so frustrating. It was just always, I spent half the time like uncurling myself just to work on the hat. So that was my little sidebar. Okay. Sutter home. Good infant down. So the other thing I'm working on has been handed over to be mailed, so I'll put pictures in, for one of the members of our meetup group who's since moved to Michigan and is pregnant, and she's actually due next month. So we all made stuff, since it's the mitten state, made stuff that's mitten themed. Some people did buntings, some people are sewing things, all crafts. And I honestly didn't know what to make. So I settled on making a corner-to-corner graph with the mitten on there. And somebody commented that the mitten thumb should be on the right, and I flipped it, but I had already gotten so far in that it things wouldn't have lined up and I didn't want to have to start all over again. So I just left it where it was. But thank you for that. So I was working on it. I was using the Stitch Studio, their basic yarn, or their classic worsted yarn. And I was almost finished with it, and I'm like, oh, I'm not going to have enough to do the back. I was just going to make the back plain, make a pillow form, stuff it, and do it. Wouldn't have had enough. And I'm like, I'm panicking because this was almost like the night before I was supposed to do a meetup to hand it over. I'm like, okay, I'll just make a pillow, basically like a zipper bag, make a pillow, sew it to the front of it, and, you know, it'll be, you know, something that she can unzip, wash the covers and all that. So I go through my fabric and I found muslin that was close to the color of that. That's gonna work. Measured everything. Now, me and my rush didn't take into account the correct seam allowance. So I sew the whole thing up, and wouldn't you know it, it's too small for the little panel that I crocheted, and I am just like so frustrated right now. Everything's going wrong. So I'm like, you know what? I took it, you know, when you do corner to corner, it's never, so I have a yoga mat, I put it down, put a towel on, put water in the iron, steamed, I pinned the square and then steamed it with the iron. I went really close to it, steamed it, and then I got another towel, put it on top of it, and then put it on there just to really get it so it'll keep its shape. And I'm like, that's it. I'm not stressing anymore. Nothing's working out. So I just brought it all. Oh, and then I ended up using this because this was what the body of the mitten was made out of. And when I printed the mitten graph, I didn't realize that it had the cuff. Or I knew it had the cuff, but because the print out was all in black and white, when I started doing it, I didn't take into account the cuff. So I did rip back, and I ended up using parfait yarn to do the cuff. But this was the body of the mitten. So I just made a hat out of that for her, and I also made the thumbless mittens to go with it. So she had mittens, she had mitten square, she can do something, she can hang it up, and I was just done. So all that to say that that was a rush job. For some reason I had a mental block as to what to make, and hopefully it works out because now she gets a bag, a zippered bag, and she gets the panel that she can do whatever with. She gets mittens, she gets hats, so it all worked out. Yeah, I think that is all I have, except I've been sewing. Like I said, my things aren't flowing with the yarn and hook and needle and all that. So right now my whoops, magazine just fell. I'm not buying yarn, and I've been really good about it, you know, pat myself on the back. I've only bought stuff that I've needed to finish something, but what it's turned into is that even though I do not need it, I'm buying fabric. And that happened last year, but I had stopped, and now I went yesterday, did I buy yesterday? No, I went back and I bought the lining fabric, the striped one, the colorful one that I had bought last time. I bought a little more of that because I liked it so much. But then my mother-in-law's birthday is coming up in a couple weeks, so I decided, what am I going to make her? Because, you know. So I decided I'll just make her a bag. And I decided, oh, I'll make her a bag with a handle. Okay. So then I'm going through the fabric I have, and I'm like, what color does she like? She says she likes pink and yellow. So I originally, what did I do with it? I originally went through and I picked out this cotton fabric that I had. This is going to be the outside. Couldn't find something appropriate for the inside, but then I decided to go with this, the llama fabric. Okay. And that goes with like where she's from and all that. Okay, and then for some reason I decided, well, I got a 60% off coupon for Joann's, and the free shipping and coupon always gets me. So I decided, oh, I'll just go there, and maybe the sale's over and I can use a 50% off coupon and buy that floral fabric that I liked. I went and I decided that she likes sweets. She has a serious sweet tooth. I was looking for something that was tea themed, but all the fabric is all about coffee, 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 and she's a tea drinker. But she likes sweets, so this is a nice sparkly, not like sparkly where it's glittery falling all over you, but just sparkly fabric with little teas and macaroons and cupcakes and tea cakes, I should say. So I figured this would be perfect for the inside of the bag. You know, doesn't have to go with the yellow, but it's something nice on the inside. Then the bags I was making for gifts in cork, I ran out. I needed more cork. That's why I was originally going. I needed to make one more of the gift bags, and I ran out of the cork, or enough size for the cork. I only had like remnants from what I cut out. Of course, I don't have the one that I bought originally, so I had to buy this kind. It's a little different than the one I had. Of course, you know, I walked by. I saw my fabric again. So I bought that. And then, yes, and then I saw this one, and it's like, there's no way I was gonna like pass this one up, okay? It's just, do you see that? Look at that. I want to say these are llamas. I couldn't tell if they're alpaca or llamas. I could never get it right. But it's got, unfortunately, there's no crochet on it, as we all know. But it's got knitting needles and yarn, and it's just so pretty. Okay, so that was that. And then I'm like, you know, Joann's a little pricey even with the sales, because, you know, I'm a bargain hunter at heart. So I got that, and I decided, okay, I'll just stop by Walmart because they have fabric. Not the Walmart closest to me in my, you know, the next town over, but this is a few towns over, closer to the Joann's. They have fabric, like on the bolt fabric. The one near me just has the pre-cut fabric. But look at how bright and springy, and it's the colors just got me. And this is like the heavy, it's heavier fabric. I don't know if it's upholstery weight, but it's heavier. But it's just so springy. So I said I was picking things off me, and there's like thread everywhere because I've been in a sewing mood lately. So while I was at Walmart, remember I said my mother-in-law is a tea drinker? Look at that. So now I think the inside of her bag is going to be that. That's what I thought to myself, right? And while she was cutting, I kept looking, and what do I find? Now, this isn't her color, so this might be for me. But look at that. The red is just so rich, and I think that one might be for me, though. Yeah. I think, because she likes yellow, she said, I think I'll leave it the outside being the yellow, and then tea time on the inside. I think I'll do that. These two will be for her bag. This will be for me. And to go on the inside, you know, there's been bee bags around lately, and I saw this, and it's like, again, the color is just, the red is just so deep. It's looking brighter on camera, but it's like burnt red honeycomb. Yeah, I got a problem. My buying, while I'm not buying yarn, fabric that I have no room for, again, like everything else, but, and I want to sew. I want to sew. I just want to make bags, so. So that's pretty much all. I did, one of the bags I sent out was for a gift. But it was a smaller version of, I said I had to make these as gifts. So they're done. This is the original cork I bought that they don't have, so I had to buy a different one. But Those are, I ran out. Actually, I didn't run out. One of the ones I made, I didn't notice till I was almost all done sewing. Where'd it go? One of the wax canvas had, like, I don't know if that's a grease stain or whatever on here. So now I have to go make another one that will have a different cork for just one bag. So what are you gonna do? Unless the receiver doesn't mind the little, no, it looks wrong. It's very noticeable. So I have one more to make and then I'll be done with that. And then I can just sew for me. Look at that. How cute. How freaking adorable is that? I have a buying problem. Yes, I have a buying problem. All right. Wasn't short like I said it was going to be. Hopefully I can take some of that out. But I'm going to go. And this time, if I forget anything, it's just going to stay forgotten. So I will talk to you guys later. Again, thanks for spending some time with me. And I will see you guys. Stay safe. Wash your hands. For more than 5 seconds, people. More. Use the soap and water. Forget the Purell. Soap and water. Bye.